friends, welcome back to my channel. I am super excited about today's video because I'm going to be telling you all about my Kindle. So I've had my Kindle for about a month or so now, give or take. I got it for Christmas. It was my Christmas gift this year. Honestly, I got it a little bit before Christmas because I just couldn't wait. I was just super excited about it. But I'm gonna be real, I've always been a physical book lover. I just love having a book in my hands. I love being able to see the word on the page, being able to turn the pages. I love being able to take notes if I want to, being able to highlight. All of that is just fun for me. I love collecting books. I love having bookshelves and just having books everywhere in my space. So I've never really been one to want an e-reader, or I never really felt as though I needed one. So I decided to get one, or I guess ask for one for Christmas, because I've seen so many people have one, so many people love it. So I was like, okay, well, let me just try it. Let me just see if this is something that I can get behind. And I'm not even gonna lie to you, before we even get into the nitty gritty, I'm obsessed with it. Since I have gotten this, I have yet to pick up a physical book, which is not good because I do love my physical books. It's just the Kindle is just so convenient. But before we get into, like I said, the nitty gritty, I just want to take you on a bit of a tour. I just want to introduce her to you. So yes, this is my Kindle. I got this case for it from my sister for Christmas. I don't know, lately I've just kind of been obsessed with cow print. I just love anything cowboy. I love anything, I don't know, Western vibes. I don't know what the thing is, but I've been loving that lately. And so I guess I saw on some pictures or some TikTok with my sister, some girl had a case like this. So my sister went out and bought the exact same case, which is I thought that was so sweet of her. I honestly hadn't given it any thought since, I guess, the day that we saw it. I completely forgot about it. But then when I opened it up on Christmas, I was just this is perfect. This is perfect for me. So I'm super obsessed with it. She also got me 2 packs of stickers to decorate my Kindle with. So here, as you can see, this is my favorite one, introverted but willing to discuss books, because there's never been anything more accurate. So yeah, this is her. She's super duper cute. I'm obsessed with her. I also have, you can't really see it because I've kind of covered it up, but I have an actual magnetic sticker thing, so I can put my pop socket on it. I have one on the actual Kindle itself. Then I have one on the clear case or whatever. And then I also have one on the inside flap because I just want to give myself options. I knew that I would be carrying this everywhere, and I just wanted to always be able to hold it comfortably. This is the pop socket that I decided to get for it. Like I said, it's one of those magnetic ones, so I can just pull it off. I think that's so convenient. I don't know. I got this magnetic strip thing off of Amazon for 15 bucks. It came in a pack of 2, which I thought was a really good deal. And my pop socket itself, I don't know if you guys can see. Yeah, it kind of has a little floral print design on it. It's off-white. I just felt like it matched the vibe perfectly. I don't know. I really love her. I think she's so cute. Now that I have introduced you, let me go ahead and get into it. I want to start off with the cons. Now, I don't really have a lot of cons. I genuinely really love my Kindle, and I know my cons are probably similar to a lot of other people who have talked about their Kindles, it's the same device. So con number 1, I don't like the fact that, I feel this is probably everybody's qualm that they have with the Kindle, is that there's ads on the home screen. So or the lock screen. I haven't really gotten any inappropriate ones or ones that are embarrassing necessarily. I feel the ads have actually been kind of helpful in a sense, which is I know this is supposed to be a con, but in a sense, I kind of like them a little bit, because sometimes they'll recommend books to you, and they are books that I want to read or that I'm interested in reading. So one of the ads, for example, for January, I believe, you get 2 Kindle Unlimited books for free if you have Kindle Unlimited. So I wouldn't have known about that if I hadn't seen the ad for it on my lock screen. So I ended up getting 2 books for free from it. So it's not bad. At least in my experience, it hasn't been bad because the ads have been pretty spot on. But I would prefer for them to not be there. You know what I mean? I would love to have the option to where I can just cut it on or cut it off. I don't really like the fact that I have to pay 20 bucks just to get the ads removed. So that's my first kind of like, I wish it wasn't like that, you know? Moving on to con number 2, which like isn't really a con in a sense. It's the fact that the screen is a little laggy. Now I've heard somewhere, like I was doing my research and somebody was talking about how the screen itself, it isn't lagging. It's just the fact that it's a different screen compared to the screens that we're used to on our phones or on our whatever devices that we're using. But I don't know, in my experience, that thing ain't loading up the way that I want it to load up. Like I want it to be immediate. So it's like, it's not really like a big thing. It's not like a big like, oh, this is annoying, but it is kind of like a little like eye roll. Like I tap something or I have to tap it twice because it won't load up the first time that I click it, if that makes sense. So that's kind of like annoying, but it's not really like a huge cumbersome thing as I'm dealing with my Kindle. Because the majority of the time when I'm on my Kindle, I'm reading. Like I'm not really scrolling or, you know, most of the time if I do want to add new books, and I guess maybe this is kind of an ick with the, I don't know why I'm calling it an ick. An issue that I have with the Kindle, because I find that it's just easier to use the Kindle app on my phone to search for or to add books to my Kindle, because on the Kindle it can be laggy, or sometimes if I'm out and I'm not connected to Wi-Fi, then I can't like search books when I'm out, if that makes sense. So I've just found it easier to not use my Kindle to look for things or like to really do like research on books. Like I find that I'll go to Goodreads, or like I said, I'll use the Kindle app on my phone to like research books or look at reviews or things like that. Like I feel like the interface on the Kindle isn't really great for searching or looking for new content to consume, if that makes sense. And that kind of brings us to the next con, which is issues with the Amazon stores. Like how I was saying, like sometimes it's kind of difficult to find new books or to look at reviews on the Kindle itself. So it's just easier to do it on other apps on my phone. But I also run into issues with the Amazon store itself, where like sometimes an error will pop up, like even if I'm using Wi-Fi and I'll like try to look up a book and then like the store will kind of crash. So I remember the first time the first time when I was using my Kindle and I was like setting it up and everything, I was trying to add books and the Amazon store wasn't working, and it kept sending me an error message. So I had to contact Amazon support and they had to figure it out for me, which I found out that I just needed to sync my device. Like I literally started it over and over and over again trying to figure out what was going on, and all I had to do was like sync it. So basically if you swipe down from like the top of the screen, it'll show like a little sync button, so that basically syncs your Kindle to like the Amazon store, to your Goodreads or whatever. So when I did that, it ended up working, but sometimes like even now, like the store will just randomly like not work, even though I'm connected to Wi-Fi, and then I'll have to sync it all over again, which is kind of irritating. Like I just kind of want it to work, but it's really not a huge issue in the grand scheme of things. Like it doesn't happen often. It's not like every time that I'm using my Kindle, it's just like on occasion. So I wonder if that is more to do with like my Wi-Fi connection, or if it's really an issue with the Kindle itself. All right, moving on to our last and final con, and that is that Goodreads on the Kindle doesn't 100% sync with my Goodreads account. And now what I mean by that is that, for example, like if I'm reading a book and I finish the book and I rate it on my Kindle, it won't rate the book in Goodreads. But if I mark a book as currently read on my Kindle, it'll mark it as currently read on Goodreads. So it's just kind of like that lack of like connection. Like I just would love if like I'm on my Kindle and I'm reading a book 4 stars to later go on my Goodreads and I see that that book was rated 4 stars on Goodreads. Like now I kind of have to do it twice. Like I have to rate it on my Kindle and then I have to go and rate it manually in Goodreads itself. Like I wish it just kind of synced up, just like how it syncs when I start a new book. So yeah, that's like the last con that I have. Like again, it's not like a huge major thing. It's just something that I've noticed that kind of like bothers me a little bit, you know? All right, moving on to the official pros of having a Kindle. I would say number 1 is how easy it is to read in bed. Like that, number 1, like that honestly is like one of the main things that like made me excited about getting my Kindle, is because I would be able to read in bed and not be uncomfortable. Because a lot of the times, most of the time when I'm reading, I'm in bed. It's like before I go to sleep. So like I have to be in like a specific position so that I can see and then I can be comfortable. And like a lot of the time, like I'll sit in bed and my butt will start hurting and my back will start hurting, and I can't lay on my side and read because that's awkward. And I can't lay like this and read because, you know, what if I drop the book on my face? And I've done that. And that's not fun. So like with the Kindle, it's like I can read however I want to read. I can lay on my side. I can read like this. Like I have my little pop grip, and it's just easy. It's just easy. So like that's such a small thing, but for me, like as somebody who reads so much, like it's just really convenient to where I can just be in bed and be comfortable when I'm reading. Like, cause I read for hours. Like it's not like I'm just reading for like 10 minutes, 30 minutes. Like I'm reading for hours at a time sometimes. So like that can be kind of hard on your back. That can be kind of hard on your neck when you're not in a comfortable position. So yeah, that's number one. Number two, I really love the fact that I can just carry multiple books with me. Like I am so indecisive. If you've watched any of these videos on this channel, I guess like my book videos, if you watch any of my book videos on this channel, you will know that I am extremely indecisive. I will start out and I will say, I'm gonna read this book today, or I'll say, I'm gonna read that book today. And guess what? I won't. I will read something completely different. And I just love that with the Kindle, I have a whole library of books to read. Like I think I have like 14 books in my to be read right now, just on my Kindle, just ready to read. And I love that. And like honestly, it's been very convenient because I'll be out sometimes and I'll be reading a book and I'm like not feeling it, and I can just stop and I can just start a different one instead of like kind of like kicking myself in the butt because I'm like, dang, Tay, like you brought this one with you, but you don't really want to read this, and now you can't read it all because you're not in the mood to read the book that you're currently reading. You know, it's just convenience. It all really boils down to convenience. It's just really convenient to be able to have a library of books at my fingertips at all times. All right, and that brings me on to point number three. And that's that this is so convenient to carry around with me. Like I love bringing a book with me. Like don't get me wrong, like I love bringing my books. Like I bring books everywhere. Like I'm not new to it. But sometimes it can be kind of like inconvenient when you have like this fat book, like, especially when I was reading Aquatar, not the first one, but the second one, A Court of Mist and Fury. When I was reading that, like that is a big boy. And I'm supposed to just carry that around with me. I'm just supposed to have that in my purse. Like even when I was reading Fourth Wing, like I would carry it in my bag with me. And it's just like, I would bring my laptop and my iPad, and like my bag would just end up being so freaking heavy, you know? So like sometimes like just having to actually physically carry a book with you can be kind of inconvenient. Like I'm not gonna lie, it can be a little inconvenient, but having this, like I have so many books with me, and it's so thin and small and it's lightweight, and I could just like throw it in my purse and I won't even know that it's there. Like I won't even know that it's there. It's fantastic. And I'm not even gonna lie to you, this is really embarrassing. But I literally went out and I bought like one of those Lululemon belt bags. Here's mine. Just because I heard that the Kindle can fit in it, and I just felt like that's so convenient. Like I could literally just throw this over me, because like I'm one of those people, like I just want to get up and go. Like I don't really like carrying a big bag with me everywhere, because why when I don't have to? So like I am very much a lover of my belt bag. Like I just throw it on, I have my keys, I have my wallet, that's all I really need. And now I have my Kindle in there and it fits perfectly. Like look, it like fits perfectly inside. It's been a dream, honestly. It's really been a dream. Like I can just go to the gas station, I can go to the DMV, I can go pick up my sister from school and sit in the car and just whip this thing out of my belt bag. And now I'm reading, and I could just throw that thing back in there when I'm done and continue on with my day and not have to worry about lugging it around with me everywhere. Perfect combo in my opinion. So if you don't have one of these, and I recommend it. I recommend it. All right, and so this is another thing that I wasn't really expecting to happen for me, but I've noticed has happened for other people, and that's people saying that on their Kindle they read so much faster. And that has honestly been true for me. Like, and I'm already a pretty quick reader, so like I didn't think, I was like, how faster can I get? Like how faster can I get? And I've gotten a lot faster at reading because of my Kindle. And I would honestly attribute that to the fact that it tells you how much time you have left in a chapter, and it even tells you how much time you have left in the book. And so in my head, it's almost become like a subconscious thing where it's like I'm almost racing against that time. Like it's learning your reading speed, and I can see like in the corner it's saying like, oh, 4 minutes left in this chapter. And in my head, I'm just thinking, I could probably do that in 3. Like I mentioned before, like I literally read 5 books in 1 week when I got this. Like 5 books in 1 week. That's a lot. I read 5 books in a week. It's I don't know. Another thing that I really love is that I can organize my books by genre, by where I'm at in reading them. So on my actual Kindle, I have books that I've read, I've had books that I want to read, and I have books that I'm currently reading. So like, I just like to organize it in that way because it's just easier for me to find what it is that I'm looking for. And like I said, I've grouped everything by genre. So if I'm feeling in the mood to read a fantasy, or if I'm in the mood to read a romance or whatever, I can just easily go and search those books in those categories on my Kindle. And it's just the fact that I can do it is convenient. Like, that's something that I've really loved. That's something that I'm utilizing, and I think it's great. So moving on to my next pro, I told you I have a lot of pros when it comes to my Kindle because I just genuinely love it. The next one is the fact that you can download the dictionary on your Kindle. So a lot of the times, like when I'm reading physical books, or even when I'm reading on here, like I'll come across words that I don't know, or different terms or phrases that I've never heard of before. And it's just so simple to just highlight it really fast, and then the dictionary will pop up and show you the definition of that word. So I've learned so many different words, and my vocabulary is increasing because of that feature. And I think that is so convenient. And that is something that with physical books, like I would have to like pull out my phone and then look up the definition, but now I don't have to do that. And so like, I don't really do like a lot of highlighting or note taking on the Kindle. I found like, I just find it's more enjoyable to do it physically, but I will highlight words that I don't know to like look back on for later and be like, oh, let me make sure that I remember that, so I can use that in a conversation at a later date so I can seem smarter. So moving on to my last and final pro, that is the amount of books that are available to you using Kindle Unlimited. Now, I'm not saying this because I'm sponsored. I'm not sponsored. I'm just genuinely saying this because I enjoy it and because I think it's awesome. Like on the Kindle itself, it'll show you like recommended books that are a part of Kindle Unlimited. So there's just a list of books that you can read, and books that I've been wanting to read that I can just get for free. And I think that's incredible. So I've really been enjoying that. And that leads me to my next point. I want to share with you guys some of my favorites. So I already shared with you in the last video this one, and that is How Does It Feel? This is a fantasy romance. It's really good. I wasn't expecting much of it, but it was offered for free with Kindle Unlimited, so I decided to give it a chance, and it was really good. I really recommend it. So if you have a Kindle, if you have Kindle Unlimited, please go read that book. If you love fantasy and if you love romance, I think you'll enjoy it. Next book is Intercepts. I just finished reading this. This one is a horror. It was good. I'm not gonna lie to you, like as somebody who enjoys that kind of genre, I think it's definitely a good read. I think it's definitely one that you should try if you have Kindle Unlimited, like I said. And finally, Divine Rivals. I've heard so many great things about this book. Like this is actually the book that I'm currently reading, but I already love it. So I'm just gonna go ahead and recommend it to you guys. And this is also a fantasy romance. It seems to be very fantasy, or not fantasy, but it seems to be very romance heavy. But like I said, everybody raves about this book. Everybody says it's so good. So I've started it. And like I said, it's free with Kindle Unlimited. So like that was a book that I was planning to purchase with my own money. And now I don't have to because it's right here. But yeah, that is it for today's video. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you guys were persuaded to get a Kindle if you don't have one. And if you're just watching it because you like my videos, well, thank you for watching and I hope you enjoyed it. And I will catch you guys in the next one. Bye.